What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date here on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news this summer. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Links and details there in the description. It's a free app to download, very highly rated. They're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores happening from around the world and all the latest scores from all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. Links and details there in the description. So let's crack on with this video. We're going to start off with some contract news, and we've got the very latest on Manchester City youngster Christian Dunbar-McDonald. Now, he's a Manchester City player in the academy, 17 years old, and Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City have opened up negotiations to try and keep Dunbar-McDonald at the club. He's represented England at youth level, very highly rated, and I think you're seeing here a response from Manchester City in trying to keep hold of some of their best academy products that they've currently got at the football club. So Manchester City looking to not only bring in fresh new talent for the academy, but also players that we've already got here that are very highly rated. They want to keep them at the club as well. And when you are looking at the ages of between 15, 16, 17 years old before you've signed that professional contract, you are always at the risk of another club coming in and just taking that player away from your club and paying just a little bit of compensation. So Man City there looking to try and get Christian Dunbar-McDonald tied to a new contract. I'm going to presume it would be his first professional contract, which means a fee would have to be negotiated if he was to be sold by Manchester City. And if City are willing to do that for you as a young academy player, you're obviously going to have a very promising career ahead of you. Now, moving on to the ins. Going to shake things up a bit rather than go on to the outs. We're going to start with the ins. And we've got another young player being linked with a move to Manchester City, and further going on about my emphasis on Manchester City's academy. This comes in the form of a new name. It's Ryan McAidoo over at Chelsea. Now, he's 16 years old, isn't on a professional contract, which means Manchester City can do what other clubs have been doing to our academy and poach the young players into our club and then offer them a professional deal. So if any club wants to sign them from there on out, they're going to have to negotiate with Manchester City. And Fabrizio Romano has said that Ryan McAidoo has now left Chelsea and he will be signing for Manchester City's academy and has given it the here we go. Now, he plays as a forward, very exciting prospect, and it's believed that Manchester City have beaten off stiff competition from the other big Premier League clubs for him, which I think is excellent stuff. Always nice to beat our rivals to some of the most upcoming best talents in England. So I wanted to welcome Ryan to Manchester City. We are just waiting for official announcements to be made for him to sign for the club. If that ever does come, sometimes they don't do formal announcements, and often academy players just tend to appear when Manchester City's academy obviously comes back from their summer break. So we'll see if they make it official or whether he just turns up. Anyway, moving on to the outs. Got the very latest on James McAtee, and the Sun have said that Manchester City want to tie James McAtee down on a new deal before deciding on what they want to do with him next. It is believed that Girona, they want to sign McAtee from Manchester City. They're keen on a loan deal. However, they're also open to signing him permanently and putting in a cheaper buyback clause option on that deal. Now, Girona, I think, would be a very good move for him. It doesn't really make sense for him to sign a new deal and then he goes to Girona on a permanent basis and a cheaper buyback clause is included. Maybe that'd be Man City just trying to work their way around, trying to get a bigger number for James McAtee. I'm not too sure. It would make more sense for him to sign a new deal and be loaned, but if he is to be loaned, I'm not too sure what the regulations are when it comes to James McAtee playing in the Champions League. And surely if Man City are wanting James McAtee to be playing obviously top-end La Liga football and playing potentially in the Champions League, then surely it'd be easier to negotiate a permanent transfer than a loan transfer. And surely it'd be easier for him just to sell him to Girona without tying him down on a new deal and then trying to negotiate a new deal that way. Doesn't really makes sense to me, this one. To me, a new deal and a loan works. A loan move doesn't work to Girona, but it does work for him to be loaned elsewhere, just like it is with Savio. Very similar situation. Girona and loaning players to them now, it's very complex because they are now playing in the Champions League, which is great for Girona. They also get some cash for playing in the Champions League, so it does mean if they do want to take some of Man City's upcoming youngsters and use them, they can afford to buy them and have cheaper buybacks included. Just not too sure why you'd offer a player a new contract, get them to sign a new contract, to then immediately sell them. Seems like a lot of unnecessary work unless you are looking to try and drive up and get a bigger price. But Girona, I know they've made the Champions League, but they don't have that much cash to be able to pay Manchester City top dollar for James McAtee. And surely if City were looking to sell James McAtee, they'd be looking for a really good number, considering he's got Premier League experience, a whole host of experience in the Championship, and clearly good enough to be playing at the top level in La Liga and maybe even in the Champions League. So you'd be looking for a good number if it was any other club outside of the City football group. So we will see. I'm just trying to make sense of the deal and a lot of the different avenues that have been mentioned by the Sun. A lot of them's 2 + 2 = 5. So I'm probably just going to exercise a bit of caution when dealing with that transfer and the news that's come out in terms of James McAtee. Now, moving on to the final transfer takes us on to an update on Savio, and Romulo Giacomin over in Brazil has said that Manchester City are definitely not going to be loaning Savio out this summer. He is going to be spending pre-season with Manchester City, and the plan is that he's going to spend the season with the Manchester City first team squad. It means, if that is true, that Man City will not need to go out there and add a wide attacking player to their squad unless a player is sold. And I don't see us selling Phil Foden. I don't see Kevin De Bruyne leaving Manchester City. I don't see Jack Grealish or Jeremy Doku leaving Manchester City either this summer. So I would say that when it comes to wide positions, if Savio's staying, then that's Manchester City done with our attacking line. And if Alvarez ends up staying with Erling Haaland, there's your front line already sorted for the season for Manchester City. And it is still a scintillating attacking lineup for Manchester City. Just need to start tinkering around, have a look at some of the other positions and the other players that may want to leave. We don't know what's happening with Edison as of yet. We don't know what's happening, of course, with Sergio Gomez. We don't know if Man City are going to think long-term about Kyle Walker, about Kevin De Bruyne, and, of course, adequately looking to try and replace Ilkay Gundogan. What's going to happen with Kovacic? What's going to happen with Núñez? Lots of question marks still to be sorted as we head past June into July, and then restrictions of PSR, of course, being removed, not just for Manchester City, but for all clubs in England and in the Premier League as well. So expect things to really start to warm up as we head into July. Hopefully that'll be the case with the UK weather as well. We've had a couple of good, nice days, and all of a sudden it's gone cold again, so hopefully it'll start to warm up a little bit more. So yeah, I will be speaking more about PSR, Manchester City, and potential business in July in my transfer show going live today, 11 AM BST. Link's already out on my channel if you want to go and set your reminders for it. I'll speak in more detail about that on my transfer show, so I will see you over there. Alternatively, if not, I'll see you again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. Remember, if you're new around here, do subscribe. Do go check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.